And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to EU League. It's Team Secret versus Cowana Gaming, our first matchup of Playday number 4 here in Stage 3 of our 2021 season. Welcome back to the Analyst Desk. I'm the medic. With me are Jess and Fresh. How about we dig into these two squads in our first best of 1 series? Team Secret is up first. Fresh, your thoughts on the team and what they're doing? Because I'm told, like you said before, you can't say anything about Cowana.
I can't say anything about Cowana. I'm not allowed, and therefore we will go to Team Secret. And this, I'll just preface this. This fixture is the return of Kendrew against his old team. And Kendrew has changed. I'll go specifically more about Team Secret, but Kendrew has changed Team Secret. They've got this kind of newer brand. They're feeling better, but they're not accumulating the points you'd expect them to. They're putting in good performances. They lost against Empire 7-5. They lost against Na'Vi 7-5. And it's just close, but no cigar. Yeah. They'll be hoping with Cowana. Cowana have kind of shown that they've got the ability to throw a few rounds, a few 4v2s, that type of stuff. Yeah. The Secret can just push themselves over the line today.
I want to also preface this match by going a little bit more hardcore on your statement and saying this is a revenge match through and through.
Fair.
This is, I mean, look, all I have to say is direct yourself to Kendrew's Twitter. Have a little look as to what the man himself has said about today's matchup. If we didn't have another brutal revenge match between Team Empire and BDS, this would be my match of the day because Kendrew has something to settle here. And I have a sneaky suspicion that we are either going to see him dominate the other team or overstep his mark a little bit and drop the ball. So we'll see which way it goes for him. It can be very frustrating as a player when you want to prove something and you keep making mistakes and you can't do it.
And Kendrew's a player that has, in the past, let his frustrations get the better of him inside the server, outside of the server as well. But he will want this more than anybody in the server today to win.
Correct.
Cowana on the other side, still a lot to prove. They can still make it very deep, of course, after their performance in Stage 1. But they got to make it happen today. Well,
they're currently sitting in 6th position, which isn't bad because the point structure at the moment with people going to OT consistently still means there's a short, period of time that they have to be able to accumulate those points back into that top 4 area. But what I will say, the introduction of Benja to the roster, regardless of who he replaced, regardless of what roster he would have gone on, he has performed excellently. His debut game was one of the best debut games of almost any rookie outside of maybe Kino in North America. And this is me going internationally. So he has been one of the star players throughout EUL. And whilst his quiet second game, or rather first half of the second game was notable, he's now sort of popping off yet again. Fragger.
He's got the experience now. He's got 3 games under his belt.
Yep.
And he's the one that goes out and wins rounds. I think back to that G2 game. Yeah. And G2 were doing a bar defense. And Benja on his own, he's the one that's saying, I'm going to go take master bedroom by myself as Buck. And he was the one who just made things happen. And that's what he does in this game. He might not pop off consistently in a round to round, but when you need him to make a play, he will be the one that sticks his hands up and makes that play.
All right. Which map will we be playing on in this series? Bring it up. 7-map poll again. 6 out and 1 left to go. It's Clubhouse in this case. The secret ban out bank just before that, and they're starting off on the attacking side with, of course, Cowana picking defense. This seems like a very classic map to settle a score on, Jess.
I mean, it's one of the maps where I said all teams should go to if you want to settle a score. Sure. Everyone should have default pretty okay strategies on Clubhouse. There's very few teams in the world that don't know how to play Clubhouse, at least decently. But let's not forget, Cowana just played this.
Twice.
There you go. So this is a map that they themselves, how many teams in EUL and APAC North are just going to go twice, 3rd time's the charm, and see how many, pieces of luck they can throw at it until it shatters, because they didn't beat G2, mind you, max OT.
They did lose, and it's... From my memory, it's not a particularly high preference map for Secret, but there's 30 rounds of odds from the past 10 days on Cowana. There's obviously a lot of flaws because they threw a lot of 4v2 attacks, that type of stuff. So if Secret have looked at that and they think, right, we can exploit that, we've got some counters that we can throw in to exploit that, then also, if I'm Secret, and I'm just going to kind of throw this out there, I would be looking to... Sorry, if I'm Cowana, I would be looking to punish Kendrew. I would be looking
to tilt him off the face of the planet.
Yeah, I would be looking to spawn peek him. I would be looking to hunt him out with drones.
This is something that as ex-coaches, we can say now, when you are a current coach, you never admit this, but we target players who we know are going to be emotional. I'm going to shout out Helby here, who used to take timeouts in his time back when we were taking the Team Secret, etc.
Yep.
And he used to take timeouts when he heard a player, this is on LAN, when he heard one of the players kicking off angrily, he'd look at the players and go, timeout, so that
Leave
player
them to
could
kick
kick
off.
off for another minute at his team. When I say kick off, this is a slang for like get angry, start yelling, brash words. So that's what I think is going to be the detriment, because if they target Kendrew, oh my lord, my heart is not going to be able to handle the kind of anger that will come out of this gameplay. It's going to be aggressive otherwise.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I would do. That would be my game plan. But
Yeah, we can admit that now.
I only resulted in draws, so it might not be the best.
I mean,
that's
you're
the second
close.
self-ban. Wow. Close, but no.
Fresh, admitting the past and coming to terms with it is a good start to heal.
If I just ban myself, then it doesn't matter when other people ban me, right?
If you get there first,
Yeah.
before we can, then
I mean,
yeah,
usually they got there at the same time because they tied.
Ah, okay. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Lordy, God. Okay. Well, we're.
We just needed a secretly in stage 1, and we wouldn't have tied all those games. I rate secretly that much. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow, you're
Alright.
in love with Secretly.
I mean, he is. He is actually an incredibly underrated player.
That's true. That's true.
But that is for
We'll come on
later.
to that, yeah.
With Na'Vi, with Team Secret, then you say, okay, keeping Kendrew to not, tilt off today. That's something. But like you said, they have so many VODs still back on so many rounds from Cowana, then Secret can read and just say, all right, we can actually build a solid game plan for this. So who needs to pop off? What needs to show up for Secret to take the W?
It's difficult to say. They just have these. They seem very momentum based. They seem to. You think back to that Chalet game. They lost so many rounds. I think they were 1-6, and they brought it back to being. Oh, sorry, 1-5.
Yeah.
And they brought it back. They got 4 or 5 rounds in a row. They just need to not get into this slump where they lose 1 round, they lose 2 rounds, and suddenly they've lost 5 rounds.
Yeah. I will say, however, the reason I was looking over towards my tablet this whole time is I wanted to see what role recently Kendrew has been playing, because again, they've decided to start sharing the shot calling role instead of having that one independent person. So I thought, what kind of operators is he playing? What role is he playing? Is he in position for them to be able to manipulate? Well, guess what? He's playing flex frag on attack, and he's playing flex support on defense, and that is a role you can corner, isolate, and oh baby, this is going to be a kicker. Watch out for Kendrew, and I know the observers are listening right now. I want to see how he gets targeted.
It's definitely the distinct possibility today. Want to see how that happens. The grudge match, how does it happen between the two? With Kendra having played on Cowana before, he laid it all out on Twitter like we saw over the past few weeks. So much to unpack. Fresh Dash, thank you very much. Cowana versus Secret. Eyes on the game, ladies and gentlemen. We go to Clubhouse. It's Hanover, and of course, it's Happen M to take us through it. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, and we find ourselves... I almost did a Daz one there. I almost did it. Thank you very much, Milos.
I did it on purpose, did I, Apex?
Did you?
Yeah, because I don't know who it was, but someone said we just need Hap to say it, and then every single one has done it.
Thank you very much, Milos. Like a TV presenter.
Is it? I might watch different TV, but I've never heard anybody say thank you very much, Milos, outside of the broadcast.
You can get celebrities to say things for a certain amount of money.
That's for his birthday. Just get his favorite celebrity.
Oh, I just do that all the time.
Oh, he says no, I think. Oh!
But I'm also on this website, so pay me and I'll maybe interact with Milos.
For those of you that don't know, Milos just said M is my favorite celebrity.
Yeah, which really raised the bar, Milos. Okay, Team Secret versus Cowana. We have 2 eyes, almost a full face, but who will be left smiling after this Playday, after this game? Because there is a bit of heat, there's a bit of tension between these two teams. It's something that, it's a conversation they had on the desk. It's something that we will highlight now is obviously Kendrew was on Cowana for the previous split, didn't go well. They separated, it happens, it's a competitive environment. Sometimes things don't gel, regardless of how well something is on paper, sometimes it doesn't work. So now it is, a little bit of the heat there. But that's not the only thing about this game, it's also a story of 2 teams that are looking for a bit of stability, and neither of them, regardless of how the performances have gone, have really been able to find it. Secrets, they've struggled. It's fair to say they was 6 kills or 9 kills over 6 rounds in their previous game before they started to pull it back. Cowana have been in overtime every Playday of the split so far, taking 2 of them, sure.
The mental fight is on. For those of you that don't know, Gorgona just put up a bunch of Z's in the chat, and after that, the full response to Secret came out. Every single member just sent in a question mark right there. So there is going to be something to play for here, indeed. You just talked about stability. Secret needs that a bit more than Cowana at this very time. Of course, looking at the overall standings, they are currently in 9th place, 2 points behind Rogue, so they are still in a relegation seat, which is not where they want to be. Whereas Cowana, actually 3 points behind on Empire, who are looking to go towards the European League finals. So, you know, 2 teams with 2 different motives to win this matchup here today, but either will be quite important.
Now, finally, let's get into it. Let's get into the opening game here on Club. If you have otherwise somehow missed some of the previous game days as well, I briefly surmised it and how these 2 teams have been performing and what they're sort of wanting, their expectations of what they can pull here. And obviously, as you said, Secret, they find themselves near the bottom of the board. Cowana are knocking on the door of clawing their way into the top 4. But the difference of the points between them, it's... You know, how many games do we have left? Is it 5?
There is 3 played now. This will be 4, so indeed, after this, there will be 5 left. So 6 in total now.
And 5 times 3?
That's 15.
And the difference between the pair of them?
Is currently 13.
There you go.
Yeah. So, you know.
Just really put you on the spot there. So there is a difference. There is a passable difference between these 2 teams. So although Secret is near the bottom of the board and Cowana is near the top, still, and this is the grandest board as well. This isn't the little one. This is the major across the entire season board. There is a gap that can be crossed. Can Secret start to try and minimize that today?
Yeah, and that is the big gap, indeed. That is all about relegation and your security for the next year. Only BDS, Navi, and G2 are currently confirmed. Cowana is looking to put themselves up there. A straight-out win today will do that for them. Even, I believe, an overtime win will put them secured for EUL 2022. Whereas, well, Secret, they're fighting it out with Rogue for that 9th place, which is either something they don't want. And Kendrew is the first one to fall to his replacement, Benja, who picks up the first kill. So it's starting off strong right here. As he just entered Strip. The Jackal trying to find the roamers and, well, got caught off by one. It's really not how you want to start out.
Now, Benja, if you've missed him, is a huge force for Cowana and has been. He opened his Playday with an absolutely outstanding debut performance, and since then has been pretty consistent in getting in and getting fights, getting aggressive. There's been a bit of a change-up and shake-up in the roles that have been played. Cowana, most notably, has fallen to slightly more passive roles in terms of letting Benja fit into the lineup where they want, and it's been good, but not with the consistency that they've been happy with. 3 OTs is, I mean, nothing that anybody wants to play with, especially when you're wanting that full fat 3 points on the other half of the split. Losing the Jackal means that the clear on the roam might not be as quick, and to be fair, Cowana don't massively need to try and play against that. They've generally dropped a lot of bodies down, there's a minute 10 left, and they still need to try and put the pressure onto the site itself.
Yeah, I believe everybody has been falling back. Actually, no, I believe Benja is still inside the Strip. Could be going for a big flank later, and Sleben is still opening up. Bit of presence inside dirt. They have it. Benja just sneaking up right now. Hasn't been caught, hasn't been found. Now as he takes care of that drone, 2 drones make that even. Surely they will be aware of his presence.
Now with Ben just sort of playing around that dangerous area, you can see Keenan and Sleben want to try and stack up either side. Sleben, though, he's going for the attempt on the swing pack ball. Is seemingly unaware. They haven't quite got the clear on it, and that puts him in a position. 30 seconds left. All he has to do is try and clear down the back of Keenan. If he can retake the vertical pressure right now that they're trying to shake up, that alone will entirely drop it. But in the meantime, doesn't really have to do much. Cowana absolutely lit up everywhere else. The drone caught him just on the flank, and I said it could be big, but it was the end of the round, if anything, a flawless.
It's a good way to start off here for Cowana. Able to pick up that flawless round. Benja just hiding out there, and at some point 40 seconds left, and I was like, there is no time to hunt him now. There's 40 seconds left. You still have done nothing to the site. You only just started opening up the kitchen hatch, and Benja is still on the roam. Is in the pool table there, and he's able to pick up that first round. Cowana, round 1. And they are leading. Round 2 will soon start. Gym Bedroom up next. Not going to CCTV yet, which is a phenomenon. How do you... Phenomenon?
No, that's right. Phenomenon.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking of the French phénomène.
Gamma's coat.
Yeah. The analyst.
Analyst.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah, but when you've got Sterny as the other role, surely Fenamine pulls all the way.
He does.
I'm only saying this because I was promised to spawn a stack earlier and them
I'm
two
not
Gamma
the one
boys.
to be held responsible
Honestly.
for Jackers, his actions there.
Jackers, I can't stay mad at Jackers. It's
No.
too good energy. Cowana, they take the first round pretty confidently. Cowana, hey, they've got an R6 skin that's just come into the market a couple days ago. There it is, the C8, which is pretty fitting for a team that, to be fair, on their early attempts and foray into Tier 1, really demonstrated how well the C8 could be utilized.
Especially the skeleton key underneath it. Bit of a nice little gadget that works just as well as opening up holes as it does at opening up the site with getting these kills on the players. We're getting underway again. Mute Jammer down onto the CCTV wall will be to stop any quick breach attempts. Also, of course, if the X-Scarrels are caught in there, will not be able to detonate. So, have to make sure you put them at the top part. It's a bit of a spherical form now, which makes it a little easier to breach through it if you try and use some hard breach gadgetry. It'll be preferable, however, to just cut out the line and create a bit of a line of sight. That's it, really. Nothing else. Just to make sure that no one is going to be playing inside of CCTV for this round.
Gorgona suffers a bit, but it's an Arctic that gets off the board first. The mute is dropped. Well, that was just a swing of the pressure onto Windows here from Gomfi, and he's able to catch somebody a bit out of position. Either way, it's an early punishment that really didn't have to happen. There's no need to be that aggressive on those windows unless you're planning a jump out, but either then, it's usually something held for a little bit later because you know that they're going to be paying firm and needed attention towards those windows. Now, as they Maverick open the top on the other side and get that hole bucked through, they have their entrance via Jacuzzi. Logistics is open too. They can stretch themselves if they want to, but they're not going to go inside CC.
Yeah, they have a bit of a spot onto Benja. The gun stuck out, and Gomfi tries to go for the spray. Unfortunately for him, not able to pick up the kill, and Benja is allowed to dig in a little bit deeper, gets another drone, but his position is now well known. Pay attention to Kendra, though. On that shield, on that Monty, is and has the opportunity to lead the charge here as he steps in. Going to be trying to check his corners as well, but needs to be careful that he doesn't expose his side too much as the Clash is coming to meet him. Just a quick bit of electrification to come through as Sleben picks up the kill, and Sloth is really going to be starting their strongest. Backbull gets traded out.
Gorgona is very isolated on these stairs, has some support underneath, but with only Grizzly really buried inside, it puts them in an unfortunate situation of, well, they've got the site. Slip past there, Benja couldn't quite get the lock off, but Grizzly is able to survive in and amongst the madness. Sleben finally finds the shutdown there as they recollect a diffuser, and they're going to see if they can find a place to plant. No C4s to be utilized underneath as Monty keeps them at bay on the stair set itself. They're not quite at the angle to find the lock off. They're going to have to go for a major rotation. Kendrew has been such a big problem for them. Drops the shield, sprays it round, tries to bring their attention. There's no one else from Secret to pick up the kill, and Gorgona's gone for a wide route around construction. He'll be trying to find a fight against them on the other side. Well, if we had those two fight each other in the first round this time, that Monty is doing everything to be a nightmare. Keenan finally finds the lockdown, but 20 seconds, 3 bodies, can't find the first. Secret have that response.
Well played by Secret there. That shield really just making it difficult for Benja because, you know, when he ignores it, the shield goes down. When he pays attention to it, the rest of the teammates are pushing themselves into a position where they can try and support. Just even if it's a single flashbang, it's enough to, well, back him up for another 5 to 6, 7 seconds. As a result, we are drawn up. Team Secret pick up the round. It's 1 apiece right now. We got CCTV cache, so Cowana decide to continue the rotation even though they just lost on Jim Bed. On the Monty really helping in that as well.
And that's the swap. There, the Monty is off. Kaid baited out to the Echo. But I think it was a good, clever play there. It's still an operator that can bring them some use, but anything that you can use that sick pick for to push your opponents into an uncomfortable situation, do it.
Yeah.
Monty was a problem. Monty was a bit of a bully to poor Benja on those stairs, wielded by Kendrew, and at the same time, it's something that draws the focus. It was something that was not used to, and now, well, they have the alternate, and they have, if we want to be noticed before, this time, let's see how far we can get without.
Yeah, that's it now, Monty. See the Nook now to come in. It's going to be a bit of a sneaky, of course, and maybe, you know, Kendrew finds himself into a good spot in the middle of the side out of nowhere. Also, of course, bypasses the yokai drones. Not in terms of, like, you cannot get stunned by them, but they just simply cannot see them as soon as the hell sensor is activated. So Packbull just quickly checking, doesn't spot any anti-breach on the wall right now, doesn't hear the mute effect, doesn't see any electrification to come through. And that means that they're potentially going to be going quite quickly here with the X-Kairos of Keenan. Potentially even still use Packbull to open up above and below and make sure that the Buck of Slabben will be destroying the piece of softball in between.
Kendrew, slow creeping and crawling their way as they're droned ahead there to make sure that there's nobody to get the quick discovery on them before they can spring their surprise. Nobody's currently playing around bar. They have the single shield on lounge to give Sloth a little bit more of an extension underneath. But with all the pressure already coming towards the top of red, an early smoke canister pops to stop Packbull being able to get this as smoothly put together as possible. It's a big bit of utility to use that early. Slipped past the camera, dropped from over the shoulder, so they won't know that Kendrew's been able to slip his way in all the way. Now it's down to audio, but as they pull out, the drop of the drone is going to say, well, we've got this territory now.
Now, what you saw there is that the camera actually got shot right before Kendrew's hell ran out. And as a result, of course, they do know there is going to be some pressure coming in from that side, as well, of course, the drones. An opening has been created. That is going to be the breach they will have to work with. Next step would be to either take construction control or to take the garage side. As the Buck is being spotted out inside the logistics right there, you can basically guess what Secret want to go for. Kendrew's still around as well. Might have actually fallen off as it's Comfy now taking the bed up into position here. No spots coming down yet on these yokais.
Comfy's just going to hold off the angle. They've done a lot to sort of shepherd the space, but they haven't quite been able to find the Cowana bodies as of yet. This Echo drone is doing a lot of work to get all this intel and read. Obviously, it was a 6th pick. They're obviously aware now, as they're able to drop it, and that will give them a bit of an idea on just what has been replaced. But look at Benja. He is slow creeping, and Kendrew isn't aware. He has this drone to keep a bit of an eye. He's waiting for the swing.
Oh, he's spotted him.
Just would have seen it there, and there it is, the pickup. Caught on the drone. Benja was aware of that as well, which is why he's not pushing further, because he knows it's generally not going to go well. 50 seconds. You want to make sure that when you strike at the right place. Kendrew is seemingly still aware of this, going to creep his way around for the first fight, sees the shield. Benja sees Sleben with the C4, pops it over the top. There's a spray round and a reveal. Sloth pot behind the shield, and suddenly things are slipping away.
Smart shield usage there as 30 seconds are left right now. Packbull goes in, gets the first, tries to get the one onto the mezzanines, but fails to do so. That's a diffuser now dropped. Comfy in the middle of the side, however, gets sprayed through the wall. It's only going to be up to Keenan now, jumps into construction, but the hold seems to be too strong. Presence on red, presence in garage, and presence near CCTV. With a drop diffuser and only 15 seconds left, this cannot go his way. Benja picks up the final kill. And it is going to be Cowana that, again, get the round here. So we keep on trading these, at least for now.
It was a sturdy hold there. In that point, we saw that obviously Secret were quick to get a lot of land, quick to get a lot of territory, but they couldn't quite get the Cowana players. They pushed them into uncomfortable situations, but without being able to take the trade there, you're still throwing yourself into a 5-on-5 situation. You're still trying to jump through a lot of their utility and guns, which we know both these teams are very capable gunners. Both these teams are very good at those engagements. If you've got Sloth firing on cylinders underneath lounge, you're taking a fight where he's still got the shield in place there. It's those little moments where, you know, it's such a gamble to push one of those in that position.
I get what he wanted to do, right? You want to get that control of launch. Maybe he was going to be able to sneak up onto red, but, you know, Sloth was still there. There wasn't a real pressure for him to fall back towards the site. And well, Secret, as you can see, have called that tactical timeout. There's only 10 seconds left, which means the last 50 have passed. And everybody quite quiet, actually. Keenan and Comfy just giving the last inputs, getting ready for the next round. It's a very early timeout that we have, and one can only wonder why. We'll probably not know unless we get to do the interview with them at the end, why that was. As the Thunderbird is being brought out by Sloth, now we're heading back to Church and Arsenal. Smoke as well. It was quickly being hovered, but didn't make it in the end. Would have been a fitting replacement for a Mozzie, of course, to stop any of the droning to go on, but hasn't made it. And now Cowana again on that bottom floor. That's the round they managed to win before. It was a flawless. Also partially due to Benja, who was hiding inside of the pool table, inside strip around that area. Managed to pick up Kendra as the very first kill of this round and the match. So, is that going to be happening again? Do we see another roam-like play coming out from Cowana? Or are we seeing a different kind of hold? There is this time Benja on the bandit. Now, you do see these walls reinforced as well, so we might as well see some of these bandit batteries used on the outside to stop a push from happening.
Now all the rotations and all the possibility of wasting time, that was not well put together.
Luckily, he has 2 left, right?
I mean, it's the fact that it happened right in front of him was probably the funniest thing. Like
No, I can pick it up!
we saw that entirely play out. I can only imagine the comms that came through at that moment.
The thing is, I think that only here you would only need 3 of them, so Keenan is in quite quickly actually inside of the kitchen, is looking to go for a quick play. Might be picked up a bench here, and it's again the entry frag and a plant. It's going down. How did Peppo get in? They have full side control. Secret. They are in, and they're going to be able to put a 45-second down on the timer.
Heck of a conversation there to have, but it's something that is starting to fall away from them. 2 last bodies remaining on the backside of the Arsenal room behind the big A case, but are they going to be aware of where the push is going to come back through? 30 seconds, and they've just seen a sliver of a body go past. They have a bit of a cross angle. Haven't quite got the shot as of yet. Leaves just Kendrew stuck in on the corner. They're going to try and play on the diffuser. Popped on the top, but Ben just there. It was a valiant effort, an attempt. It almost paid off. Keenan and the Benja fight might have been something that drew a little bit more attention. And potentially, even if Keenan had gone with them onto the site, maybe they didn't expect to get that far in, but still.
Where did it even come from? Because it was not dirt, because there was still a player left at
Garage.
dirt. Yeah, it must have been at a garage or blue.
If it was, yeah.
It was a good effort from them, that's for sure. It's just unfortunate that the kills on the site didn't really go all their way. Otherwise, that would have been a lockout and a very quick round. Ended up still being a very quick round, of course, but just not in their favor. And Jim Bedroom is going to be coming up next. Cowana now leading by 2 rounds. Clash again to come out, of course, as a bit of a response to the Monty that was previously brought out by Kendrick, who has been playing many different operators so far. Really showing the flex that he has become.
Okay, Cowana. That's another round that you've been able to take, and one where it was a bit feisty. We've seen just how willing Secret is to play and push ideas out of there, but you're looking at Grizzly and Benja. Both of them, if I'm going to talk about Cowana players and their ability to light up, these are 2 players that this split definitely have. Grizzly was always that little bit of a sort of a background character for a while in their time in CL, because you had Sloth and Gorgona. You had this pairing that was so powerful.
Yeah.
And Grizzly would always be consistent, but it wasn't the most sort of...
It's like Renshiro on BDS.
Yeah, entirely. Like, you'll look at the end of the season, it's like, oh, wow, his KD is like 2. How has this happened? Like, when has this happened? Because it's always like, but this split, we've really seen Grizzly light up in the past split as well. And now to see it like continued with Benja on that sort of backline and support as well, it's something that really is working into the favors of Cowana.
Benja currently being 7-on-1 as well, by the way. Really showing up strong. A bit of a flashback to his first day in EUL, where he managed to put up quite a big and good performance. Spots going out from the Prismas, however, unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to try and find it. There's going to be a potential for a challenge here as the Sophia does walk by, but also passes by. It's going to be starting to open up again.
So much pressure's coming out, and they're using those alibis. They realized that obviously there was a lot of spray and pre-fire towards those gym windows, and they want to make sure that it's nowhere near as able to pull away bodies of Cowana players as it was before. Huge amount of drones this time. They're going for the bodies inside CC. They realize that they want to try and take a bit of control this way. The clash is the pickup. The clash is the adaptation, with the thought and potential of Monty being up against them and back. As we remember, that was a big play and a big move and a big operator that drew them a very big round, but it's their only round. And, well, if there's a place where they might be able to get a second, this is definitely the best stead for it.
The ADSs have just recharged here. Sloth goes quite aggressive, gets picked up. Kendra with the first. It's going to be starting off strong there. It was a bit too quick. Could have waited for the clash, but it failed to do so in the end. As Benja takes the gunfight there, but falls back right behind the shield. Will get spotted by the lifeline. Or was it a gun 6?
I think it was a
gun 6 indeed, yes, because Gunfuse is a bit further down in the garage. Either way, the shield's gone. That forces Benja to play a little bit more carefully now.
Yeah, I was bold to swing onto that with the gun 6. It's a risk that we've seen Kendra take before, swinging onto shield, and it's not quite gone their way this time round. they're able to remove a bit of a hold here onto the bed itself. They're trying to clear a pocket of space. And this was how they tried to go on their CC approach, but it didn't quite work before either. This time round, the alternate, as I said, they've got bodies inside CC. They're going for more of an aggressive push, more of an aggressive hold. Grizzlies sort of dancing and dabbling and just avoiding the fire of Cowana that stops and steps into the door. 40 seconds, and they've been pushed a little bit round to logistics. The hatch is open, so Anarchic's keeping a bit of a wide swing, but if they get the tell and the read that nobody is actively holding it, they might find themselves a bit more confident to swing aggressively against Slevin.
Second grenade coming out, but you see Cowana moving forward. That's the clash. Die is now gone. A very big kill here for the side of Secret. This gives them the opportunity to try and execute with 20 seconds left. There's a gunfight going on. Keenan gets the kill to Anarchic. It's only Benja and Cowana left now.
Cowana is going to hold inside the site for the best of their ability, but unfortunately locked out by the unsurmountable power. Another flawless in this game, the first this time round for Secret, and their second round on the same site.
That means that now in round 6, we're going to CC Cash again. Is Secret going to be able to pick up a third and put themselves up into levels? What's that? What's the saying again? What do you always say? Level? I forgot the other part of it.
The what?
Level. When you level out, you know. I'm having an English difficulty right now.
Level out?
No, I forget about it.
No, I mean, I want to help you, but
Is it levels pegging or something like that?
level pegging.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did have.
I have no idea where that phrase comes from.
I have no clue either, but it's.
If you're level pegging, you're even.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Maybe
going
it's
for.
to do with
maybe Secret
pegs
want to go.
and a washing line. Tim is back there fuming.
No, I thought it was that, but I didn't want to say it wrong.
It's about
so.
cricket.
Or something, I don't know. It sounds like
Or
a
it is
cricket
actually about
phrase.
cricket.
Probably.
Oh.
If I don't know what a sports phrase is, it's probably about cricket. Okay. They might be level pegging, they might be evenly balanced, they might be at a 3-3. It's down to Secret to prove otherwise right now, because they've only been able to pull successes on one site. And they're not going back to that one. CC is where we find ourselves. And this was, they tried some sneaky stuff around in the back. They've dropped the idea of the Nook. They've dropped that game. They found themselves in a bit of an individual fight with Lounge underneath. So what I'm expecting and hoping and guessing, now we've seen so many of them appear over here, is a garage Lounge take, is a bit more pressure directly underneath the site before they go to construction.
There could be another quick take here. Either way, 2 men in that garage is going to be very difficult. They need to get rid of those 2 players first if they want to go for a take. There's no other way. As everything is being set up here for Packbull to start opening up. You just have to be careful. Could see some more of these smoke canisters being tossed out by Grizzly, as the first line has been released. Okay, I was going to say that's not going to work if you do it that way, but either way, it just creates a little bit of an angle so the man on the rappel can hold them from close. I believe the wall has just opened up. They have it indeed. Sleben trying to provide some support, trying to provide some of that cover. It's going to be rappelling all the way up here. Doesn't spot anybody as of yet, though. Gets a bulletproof cam, but that's about it. They need to get these 2 players in garage. Those are the 2 important ones, because that gives them the opportunity to plant a service stack.
Now, as I said, it's going to be a little bit more presence on this side for now. You can see them toying and dabbling with concern over the windows. The jump out possibility they might come around from the bedroom side. They're hoping someone gets a little bit loose on Coawana's side, and Sleben just ignores it, tries to drive in, drop from the cover split there. Kendrew gets the pick up, and Gumphy and Sloth double down a piece. Another trade comes through, but they're going to try and find themselves here close on the soft wall. The C4, the bait, and so many explosives find somebody.
Kill.
Suddenly, they find themselves with only 1 body left. A 2 versus 1. They're either side. They're looking to see if they can pick up the diffuser. Can't quite get the collection and the connection with anyone else. So, finds a pocket of space. Finds a bit of a drive. Find themselves moving away. Benjamin and Sloth, they're sort of waiting. And I'm not entirely sure what for, as they find themselves now in a 2 versus 1 post plant. They have a bit of a fight here that happens on the first swing. They both push the same side and win the engagement. Distracted by the first, pick up the second, and Cowana pick up a 4-2 half.
Yeah, well played by them. Benja going through, of course. You saw that they wanted to go for that kill. You quickly want to chase that, turn it into a 1v1, because suddenly it's a lot more winnable than a 1v2 that you could potentially be pushing into. So got picked up as a result. That's the end of the round then as well. And Cowana lead. Now, it's going to be Secret up to the defense themselves. So far, they have 2 rounds. That is basically the minimum you would need to get on your attacks. So they've done their job. They've managed to win the gym site twice. But now they have to make sure that their attacks will be on point as well, because they have a bit of ground to make up for. 2 rounds they're currently behind. 4 they want to get to at least go to that singular point. Of course, 5 if they want to pick up the full match in the full 3.
Okay, Secret. It's not the most out there task, but let's see how you put yourself to task to try to complete it. 4-2 is a split that is more than attainable on your defenses if you want to try and bring this round on the clubhouse side. And that's a very cool effect when you've got quite the angle there on the hatch and the gate, and it's something where the Arena could play into applying a little bit more pressure onto those gates itself. They've gone with the full tall extension as well. Let's see, I guess, if Cowana want to try and punish it in the same way Secret tried to against Cavana's tool hold.
And there's an opportunity. You see Dirt is currently being watched by the Cowana players. A player is being spotted on CCTV as well, 2 actually. There's always the opportunity to go quick, especially if there's no pressure coming down in Dirt, and it seems like they might be thinking about it. Sloth is close. There they go. It's going to be bucked open. They're going to try and push this as quickly as they possibly can. Sloth just taking the ground. Gorgona right behind him. Normally he would let the shield take point. They have it. Gorgona now takes the lead in that push. And they'll definitely hear that. Banshee will start screaming soon as well, so it has to be taken care of by Sloth if they want to make sure that they keep as much information away from them as possible.
Now, this will be the call of, yeah, we've got a lot of pressure here, and you can instantly see the bodies of Blue returning down onto the corridor itself. There's one that's just dropped down onto main door, so they have that rotation if Keenan needs to come back ground. They still have one loose player. They're not going to focus all their attention on this as of yet, because in a way they still think that they can take this fight. They still want to outnumber it, and they're not being rushed. There is a presence there, sure, but it's one that's more just clearing the pocket of space. The pressure is now coming above them. Anarchic clears the kitchen hatch with the double Selma, but it's the loose play above that could be the danger.
Yeah, we still have someone on the second floor that could be coming in quite big, and as long as these 2 players, Sloth and Gorgonas, don't start pushing into the site, there's absolutely no reason for him to start coming back. Just quickly checking who it is. I believe it's going to be Slebin that's hiding up there. That grenade gets a kill. That's Kendrew taken care of. Smoke canister will be tossed in as a bit of a response. Gorgona takes a bit of damage, but not enough to put him down, and as a result, Slebin now going for that drop, trying to go for a nice little flank. Needs to try and find out where the push is actually coming from. Of course, we have 2 near the kitchen. One was still near the garage. It's Grizzly that now just slips by. And Slebin, well, on that first floor, needs to decide what he wants to do.
I'm curious if they've picked him up on a drone there, because Grizzly went with a little bit of an eye towards the double door leading into lounge. Slebin is still toying with the idea of collapsing round, but with how loose and how wide the Cowana push is now coming from, just almost there it is. Benja finds Packpool, finds the spray onto the second, doesn't quite get them down, but they have 50 seconds. And now with 2.5 Secret players remaining pretty much, they're going to see if they can try and lock down. It's still the main drop to come through. There's still a C4 and the potential here of an impact that might do a little bit of damage to the shield. Gorgona is low, but he's also going to see if he can stick this plant now. It just takes the side of a C4. They can't quite get the angle. They have the cover. They now have a diffuser down with a shield back up in a 5 versus 1. Gorgona sprays on through.
Round.
The third of the game.
It's definitely starting to heat up here. Very well taken here. Of course, the flank was still on from Slebin, but decided to fall back once they lost another member on the site. Of course, didn't really have another opportunity, but otherwise that could have still gone all Secret's way. Now Church Arsenal, the run it back will be used. Actually, Bar Stage coming out. They're quite undecided yet. All came through quite late. Bar Stage, a side we haven't seen much yet. This is the first time I'm going to be casting it. It's absolutely insane.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. I hope they win it, so they prove my point that Bar Stage is viable.
Well, okay, to be fair, your point was on the old.
Yeah, I know.
And there hasn't been, okay, I was about to say there hasn't been the biggest. Structurally, no. Positionally, yes, they've moved a whole bomb site, of course.
Yeah.
That is quite a big change.
Just a little bit, you know.
To a bomb site. Hey, there it is. Where'd it used to be?
It used to be down in stock.
I wanted them to show it.
Actually.
There it is.
Yeah.
Of course, we all know where it used to be, but it's nice to
visualize.
Yeah, so that's the big thing.
I started watching Siege since today and have absolutely no clue. That was a site.
Will they do the Na'Vi hold?
They might.
I'm trying to...
What was it? Doki said that, you know, one of their strats just got straight up stolen for...
I think, was it Cowana who ran it last week?
I'm not sure. That could be the case, but, you know, in that case, again, got stolen because
Oh, not
the
last
same
week, last
electric
Playday.
bar that is being used
well,
there.
that's the thing. If every team starts adapting to the Na'Vi hold, it was dissected by Jet and Fresh, and it sort of said, look how this is a great hold, and other teams went, you're right.
You know, my teachers always used to say that beter gestolen dan slecht bedacht, which means...
it makes sense they would say something in
Right,
Dutch.
yeah. That's, you know, I was going to say, I'm not going to say it in English because then it would make sense. Either
Then
way,
your teachers would say
it means it's better if you steal it than think of something new, which is quite bad.
Wow, your teachers would say that?
Yeah, that's actually
Wow.
actually what they said. They promoted plagiarism.
What school? Never mind. 2 minutes 20. And they're trying to find their way in over the top. They're going to see if they can crack any modicum of control above the site. You do need that verticality. You do need some confidence there because a lot of it is soft. Above this, there's a lot of sneaky angles. There's a lot of ways that you can also lean down. So if you want to enter via stock door, and they've opened up a bit of the stage, well, you can watch that from construction hatch, which is why they're going to get control of this area now. There is obviously verticalities that's used that you would have seen in the reverse situation too, when teams are trying to plant inside gym and then someone shoots them from underneath inside bar. Just think of that, but upside down.
A bit of a tall hold here. Keenan and Gomfy both taking a bit of damage to Sloth here. Trying to go for some wall bangs through the vault. Quite hitting him yet. There is definitely a very heavy hold on the top floor here, and you see some of the positions are being swapped down. Gomfy's going on a bit of a hidey spot with Keenan close around the corner. He's going to get spotted out, but Gomfy should still be safe.
Now as Grizzlies trying to apply the pressure and bait the fight inside logistics, there is 2 bodies. Another grenade rolls around. They've been used very well. Keenan still survives, but there's still one in the pocket if they want to try and double down, and Grizzly has one as well. A bit of a split push. The pings are there. The spray comes through. Keenan goes down. They're going to lock it off with a grenade. This could be a double. Bounces through. Does it hit? Does it roll? Does it connect? It's Gomfy doing everything, but Sloth is there just to lock it out. The man is down. It's a pickup. And now they have a minute to see if they can angle downwards.
Grenade just bounced a bit too far, rolled too deep into logistics, which made sure that they had to go for a double peek. Benjo was the one who died as a result of it, but it doesn't matter in the end. You still got the 2-for-1 trade. That means that it's a net profit of 1. And right now you have that man advantage. You need to make sure you use that to the best of your capabilities. Kendrew still sitting below, has those yokais available to you. 30 seconds, they become more and more powerful with every second that passes now. Need to really make sure that they start taking care of this side. Kendrew drops even further, as you can see. He needs to make sure that he's safe as the push in the plant is about to start commencing. 15 seconds, Backbull starts to push through the fire. He dies, and it's a 1v4. The yokai drone is in position. Is it going to get taken out? There's a second one, and that might be just in time. That's going to stall it out at the very last second. They have no clue, but he can plant yet again. The yokai drone drops, but there's a second one. It's going to be ending. Secret gets it, they clutched it out, they had no clue where their yokai was. And you see them being confused about it. What a good spot that was to hide it in as well.
They were doing everything to try to body block the diffuser.
You cannot body block it, it just...
I mean, okay, we've got to take some things into consideration there. Obviously, we saw Kendrew rotate down. He moved those drones.
Yeah.
When they had an idea of where it was going to be, the last we saw those drones, they were on the floor inside bar, and then he moved them into those positions. The one that got spotted, I think, was the one that he moved at the very end. And obviously, it was just timing. It was very well put together. The question mark, to put a little bit of mental game into the all chat, as you do. But Secret, they find around by the skin of Echo drones, and now they've got to see if they can find a couple more, because Cowana are still only 1 round away from putting themselves guaranteeing OT, which is probably a worry for them when they're on 6 rounds and haven't quite locked out the game. And also, they still have their attack timeout. They still have the chance to have a conversation if they think Secret starts building a bit more momentum and land.
That's it, they still have a lot of resources available to them, a bit more, you know, leeway. Here's Secret. It's a very good yokai drone still. And as I said, they become more powerful with the second. This time, however, Kendrew on the Oryx is really swapping operator from operator every single round, playing something different. And it leaves Cowana guessing what it is they will be dealing with, what new challenge will arise for them. But for now, it is just going to be easy goings. Secret on that top floor hold. It is, of course, going to be down in the basement, but you have Gomfy, you have Sleben upstairs. I believe Kendrew is on that first floor as well, just roaming around.
The split here as well is obviously one of the reasons we might be seeing an Oryx is because Monty was a drive operator for their take here. Not on the board this time round, but it was an option. It always is when 6th pick is part of the game. It was a possibility, and they needed something to have a response there because Cowana was just holding. They were being quite aggressive with the Monty. They were getting in these tricky and tough situations, and here, well, a different game. By Sleben, taken out quite early, quite cleanly, quite quickly, and that's the worry because the amount of time that wastes on the top floor is the reason you have this extension.
I don't want to waste as much time as possible, but when Sloth just rips you apart like that, then there's nothing else you can do than just try and fall back because the rest of the push is going to be coming around as well. Packbull up close in Secret, Keenan in launch, and Kendrew around the stock area. You can basically tell what kind of a hold they want to make sure they have and what kind of hatches will not be opened up. Actually has been opened up, so they're just protecting it for now, not wanting to give away the free information. Here's the rest of Cowana just slowly starting to get ready again. They have the man advantage this time. No yokai drones to worry about in those last 15 seconds. But there's still going to be 4 members, and with that, 1 roamer that is going to be present. Roamer will be giving away a lot of information as Grizzly starts opening up that hatch. That will definitely be Kendrew. That probably comes bursting through that wall at some point to try and take him out. But Sleben is very close as well.
That's the thing, as long as the Jackal's on the board, there's always the chance that you might get caught out. They've been able to pull different feet on different people down towards blue in the back of the basement, but you know somebody's going to be holding this anyway, so they're just going to remove as much utility. There it is, though. Kendrew swings around, drops the diffuser, and is actually going to pull back 50 seconds. They need to recollect that from stock. It's above a hatch, it's not the end of the world, but still, it's a body that is now outside of the push. That grenade bounces around a little bit too wide, and Keenan's able to stick himself behind the utility box for as long as possible. A little bit longer, as another grenade comes, doesn't quite get the catch. Again, if they couldn't quite waste the time upstairs, here is the next best place, and they do it for a fair amount of time with a fair amount of grenades. 30 seconds, though. Now the push has to come.
Yeah, Sloth just checking the corners right here. Is going to be taking a fight up to Kendrew, who's holding the rotation into blue. Packbull does go down. They need to check this angle. They don't. The diffuser gets dropped again, but it's 20 seconds left. There's plenty of time. Gomfy on the back gets it down, but not the kill. Benja with the double to lock it off here, and that means it's going to be match point for Cowana. It's still 3 rounds to go. Plenty of time for them to try and lock it off here and get the full 3 points. And with that, really turn on the chase towards Empire for that final EUL final spot. No one is confirmed yet, let that be clear. BDS is currently leading the charge, 46 points, followed by Navi on 45. And then you have G2 39, Empire 36, and then Cowana is coming up behind. They are in the chase for that 4th seed right now, whereas Secret, well, they really want to get some points here today to put up the fight against the Rogue a little bit closer, because if they don't, well, in the next 5 playdays, they will be facing the relegation seed permanently.
Cowana, hey, let's just have a little chat. You're on the possibility of winning this. You're on the possibility of not going to an OT. I know you guys have struggled with this recently. 3 playdays, they've gone to OT. We're not there yet, Cowana fans, Cowana socials. You've still got 3 rounds.
But you're getting quite close.
But you're getting close. You're getting close to breaking that mold, breaking the problems that you suffered on the chance here.
A crab walking Des just came by.
Des literally just walked through the set doing a crab walk.
Yeah. I don't know what's going through his mind.
I know entirely what's going through his mind.
Oh, I know what's going through his mind as well now. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, well, maybe I don't, because I was just going to say a joke.
Okay.
He is also... I think he's just suddenly realised that he's on set next.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
He's still wearing cargo shorts and t-shirt.
Exactly. That's what I thought as well. Like, he's going to have to get ready, and suddenly he's 3-6, and
I think he expected a lot
any second. I think a lot of people would have expected a very close game between the 2 of these right now, but so far, Cowana are really bringing it to Secret.
But it's also worth mentioning Secret's last game. They were down 7-1, and then they pulled it back to 7-5. They have the ability when they're pushed, the 7-1, 6-1, then it went to a 7-5. Duh. But they have the ability to find something when they don't have much to work with. Here, they're on their defense. They've got to see if they can build behind some of what Club offers. They've got to see if they can try and capitalize on the early frags. The early trades aren't really going in their favor. They've been losing out across both attack and defense against the aggression of the Cowana players that have been able to lean into these quick takes. And talking of, they look like they're stacking themselves up underneath the site this time as the approach.
Maybe to cut down some of the rotation possibilities. We do know that Secret loves to jump around and try and, you know, come around the positions that Cowana are currently holding. Doesn't always seem to be working out, but if you manage to cut them off whilst they attempt doing it, that might be even better. Actually, they might actually be putting up a bit of pressure onto Backbull here. They can destroy part of that flooring. Maybe they can get a grenade in deep and take him out as a result. It's going to be one of the Goyo shields that has been removed already on the bed. Not from below, but still counts here. Very dangerous spot Kendra is in right now. If that doesn't go drone, he might be able to pick up a free kill. But if the drone comes in, well, he could be swung from multiple angles here. So needs to be very careful that he doesn't make any noise. Drones are coming in as well. Doesn't quite get the spot down, I believe. This allows him to go quite quickly. As soon as they do open this up, he might just go for a straight up swing against the back. Oh, he gets spotted by the Retiro and is forced to go away.
Yeah, he played that for as long as he physically could, but they struggled with opening the wall, which meant that he couldn't quite strike it the same way. Still not quite able to open the bottom middle connector. I'm not quite sure what the disconnection is there, but there's almost one. Keenan.
Grenade from below.
Hey, remember when we talked about grenades in the new armor system? And
yeah.
It feels slightly different. There's another one. A full-body person, which that grenade would have killed any other twos out there. But no, he's able to survive. He's able to keep himself buried in around the side of an ADS now, so he has a little bit of support there. But look at this. The aggression, the Reteros, the grenades. Kendra is forced out of yet another place.
Being forced out indeed. Grizzly is going to be able to, well, go down quite low. Sloth is in the middle of the side, gets the first kill for himself. That's a 3-on-2 situation. Secret still has a man advantage. There's 10 seconds left. Cowana still needs to get this kill onto the Maestro, but spots out the barrel, gets the first, get the kill as well. And now certainly it's only up to Sleben. 5 seconds left. Just needs to take care of the diffuser, but the cover should be coming in from Sloth. Runs around the corner, and Sloth gets the final kill. It is Cowana that lock up the game here. It's Cowana that pick up the 3 points. And they're going to be coming in quite happily as they turn on the chase truly now for the EUL final spot.
Well, it was a bit of a good day here today for Cowana. They've played against some of their own personal demons in terms of what has been impacting them the past few play days. They went with a bit of a plug there on the new Cowana buckskin on the C8.
Don't forget to buy it.
Don't forget to buy it. Look at it. It's pretty. And it gets them their first full-point win. So there's got to be something there, surely.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy about that one. 3 points is also going to be elevating them, of course, in the standings to turn their chase for the major on just as the EUL final. So there's a lot at stake here for these final couple of play days for Cowana. Secret, well, they have some more work to do if they want to get out of relegations. But before we toss it over to the desk, let's go to an ad break first.